everyone. We're going to be getting started here in about 2 minutes. A few technical difficulties working through, but if you could please make your way into this room and join us soon. Thanks.
Hi again.
Testing, testing. It's for the DC office, sorry. I know you can hear me. Testing, testing. It's for the DC office. I know you can hear me.
All right, hi everybody. Hello, hello. All the way in the back there. If you can hear my voice, you can hear my voice. So folks in the kitchen area, come on in. If you can gather our friends. Nicole, Gio, I can see you. Come on in. People who are pretending to do email in the back there, come on in. All right, so for those of you who don't know, I'm Mike Brune, Executive Director of the Sierra Club. Welcome to our annual Employee Award Ceremony. All right, and for those of you who haven't been to an award ceremony before, these are intended to be raucous affairs, right? If we are a 600-person staff team paddling in a kayak towards a distant shore, most of the time when we do our work, we're looking towards the distant shore. We're thinking, what is it that we want to achieve? How can we get to 100% clean energy? How can we make sure we're protecting 6 or 8 or 9 million acres? How can we make sure we're building a diverse movement? How can we get hundreds of thousands of people in the outdoors and great earned media every day? And how can we make sure that we're achieving all of our goals as an organization? And if we're honest with ourselves, rarely do we look across the conference room or down the hall and say, we're awesome. And we really have an amazing group of people here. So we dedicate this one day, at least, to our own self-appreciation and in a heartfelt way to recognize some of the superstars that we have on staff. Unfortunately, we only have a couple hours in which to recognize folks. There are hundreds of people who are doing fantastic work, who are on staff, thousands of people who are a part of the Sierra Club doing great work as volunteers. And so today we're just going to highlight a few. Final thing I want to say is that's for me, really exciting about the way that this this ceremony has developed is that all of the people who are being honored here were picked by former award winners. So this is not an example of some executive team or some group of senior managers who decided who they should favor in a particular year because they said nice, flattering things to them in some staff meeting at some point. We had no involvement as managers in this process. This was a group of leaders selected by your peers and your colleagues. So my request is that you bring the noise and you bring the love and you bring all the affection and appreciation you have when you meet some of the awardees. So without further ado, here is Mary Nemerov, and here's your first chance to bring the noise. Mary Nemerov, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here, especially folks who I've been in your situation, sitting in a home office, staring at a laptop, thinking, how long is this going to go? We especially appreciate all of you out there in the field who are joining us today. Like Mike said, this year's award winners are picked by last year's award winners, and I just want to recognize last year's award winners who won an award and then had to do the work of finding this year's award winners, and that is Shelly Campbell, who won the Behind the Scenes Hero Award last year. Josh Stebbins, who was our Larry Melhalf Award winner last year. Rhonda Anderson, our Mike McCloskey Award winner of 2015. Roger Downs of New York, who won the Special Achievement Award last year. Molly Diggins of North Carolina, who won the Virginia Ferguson Award last year. And the Communication Department's Heather Moyer, who won the Community Service Award last year. So I am your MC, and I am pretty quickly going to tell you what the award is for each award, announce the winner, and then the winner and all their fantastic qualities are going to be explicated to you by some of the folks that nominated them. So the first award we are going to have today is the Larry Melahalf Award. This recipient of this award has a distinguished and consistent record of many achievement in advancing the Sierra Club's message, or in implementing ideas, systems, programs, or team efforts that have resulted in substantial improvements, efficiencies, and savings and services to the operations of the club wide, or who has greatly helped advance the message of the club. And I am delighted to tell you today that this year's Larry Melahalf Award recipient is Allison Horton. There you are. And we have Program Director Sarah Hodgson here to tell you a little bit more about why Allison is so deserving.
All right. So this one feels a bit to me like a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's for a woman who's been with the Sierra Club for more than a quarter of a century and is enjoying her last year on staff before she retires. Allison started working with Sierra Club on the Alaska National Interest Lands campaign for the Michigan chapter. And then she went on, she was the legislative director, the political director, and the state director of the Michigan chapter. Her friends on the State Lobbying Corps and the Michigan Environmental Council, including Ann Wywoody, remember her collaboration strengths and her strong policy and strategic skills. In 1995, Allison became a regional organizing director for the Midwest. And throughout the region, many will tell you that it's been her steady hand of leadership that has allowed so many campaigns to thrive, including the very early start of the Beyond Coal campaign. Organizing managers, including Teresa McHugh and Michelle Rozier, appreciate her solutions approach, her ability to resolve conflict, and the ability to set people up for success with the right tools and the right processes. She's got a keen eye for seeing talent, and has hired some of Sierra Club's superstars, including Rhonda Anderson, last year's McCloskey winner, and one of the finest environmental justice organizers in the country. Shelley Campbell, our 2015 Behind the Scenes Award winner and lifesaver to many in the field every day. Eva Hernandez Simmons, who under Allison's mentorship became a regional organizing director herself. Allison is deeply committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and was an early champion for integrating this work across Sierra Club. She's been a sounding board and wise counsel for many people, helping staff and volunteers in the region and across the country weave equity principles into the demands of national organizing, of a national organizing infrastructure focused on clear and measurable outcomes. She's also led when our commitment to equity demanded that we deepen our engagement, including most recently with the Flint water crisis, where she led the Sierra Club team. Her work ensured that our participation was principled, that it was authentic, and that we were following the lead of the communities based in Flint, or the organizations based in Flint. Likewise, she's had a deep commitment to the Gulf region and has been an advocate for our consistent engagement throughout many crises, hurricanes Katrina and Rita, the BP oil disaster, and dealing with the legacy pollution issues that plague the region. Her boss, Bob Bingaman, recently asked colleagues for words to describe Allison, and here's what came back: calming, caring, wise, fearless, thoughtful, grounding, bedrock, dry wit, integrity, solutions-oriented, and respected. And I couldn't agree more with this list. In her quiet, steadfast way, Allison has been a major influencer and contributor to this organization's history and all of the work that we're doing. She's not one for flash, but you see the results that she achieves in her staff, those that she's hired and managed, and the teams that she's led. You will see the result in the thoughtfulness and effectiveness of the work in her region. And when she retires at the end of the year, there's going to be a major gap that will be really hard to fill. I imagine it's going to be one of those times when we don't realize how much we've relied on Allison until she's gone. I was recently honored to be part of a goodbye toast at the Organizers Managers Retreat at Austin. And I'll share with you what I told her then. I'm extremely grateful to Allison as one of the early women in leadership in this organization. I give her credit for remaining true to herself and thriving as a leader with a feminine style in the more cowboy culture years of this organization. And she paved the way for me and many women who are now contributing and leading in this organization, and I'm very grateful. So Allison, congratulations for this Larry Milhoff Award. On behalf of the staff and volunteers of Sierra Club, I want to thank you for your many years of service, achievements, and leadership. And when you retire next year, I wish you many years of gardening, bird watching, and not only meetingless Fridays, but many meetingless months.
Thank you, Sarah. That was really, really nice. And thank you, everybody in this room and everybody across the country who may be listening via Hangout or some such. So it's a real honor and very special indeed to get an award that comes from people I work side by side with. And Mike, you mentioned that in these awards, and that I think makes this very special indeed. But this award in particular, with Larry Milhoff's name and spirit attached to it, means a huge amount to me. Larry was one of my dearest and most valued friends in Sierra Club. He taught me a lot, we laughed together a lot, and his dedication to the work we do was inspiring. So I feel really lucky and grateful to be following in his footsteps with this award. Standing here now makes me feel so conscious of all the important work that we've all done together in Sierra Club over the years. But in the wake of Orlando, I can't stand here without speaking, when we're together in a big group, of my sorrow for the people who suffered, for my own LGBT community, for the Latino community, for all of us who feel attacked by that violence. Because I feel any time in America when we get together in groups now, we need to speak. So I want to speak my anger that this country allows such hate to be fostered and allows weapons of mass destruction to be possessed by anyone at all. So for all we've done together as Sierra Club for the planet, I exhort us to all keep doing more together, the things we need to be doing for the world as a whole. But beyond that, what I want to say is thank you for inspiring me day in and day out to work for a better planet for all living things. Thank you to just a few of the people and the groups of people who've kept me going through the years. First and foremost, to my wife, Kathy, who's here. To the wonderful people in the Central Region organizing team, love to you all. Where do I look to send you that love. To the organizing department as a whole, to the Beyond Coal campaign, which I did feel a part of from the very beginning, to those of you in the Sierra Club who drive our environmental justice and equity, inclusion, and diversity work, and to everybody else who does so many things to make the world a better place, to turn us to clean energy, to save the climate and everything that depends on the climate. You all make it worthwhile. Thanks a lot.
All right. The next award we have is the Virginia Ferguson Award. The Virginia Ferguson Award honors an employee who has demonstrated consistent and exemplary service to the Sierra Club. Commitment to the organization is demonstrated not only through competence and longevity of employment, but also in congenial attitude, extraordinary spirit, and an unquestionable integrity that makes the individual's performance an inspiration to the rest of the staff. This award is named after Virginia Ferguson, who was the first paid Sierra Club employee. She served for many years as the sole employee of the Sierra Club, God bless her, working directly under Will Colby and performing multiple staff functions for the organization. Virginia worked for the Sierra Club for 30 years and retired in 1959. During her tenure, our membership grew from 2,500 to more than 14,000. We are pleased to announce this year's Virginia Ferguson Award recipient is Virginia Wolf Biley. Christine Favela will now present Virginia with her award via Google Hangout.
I really believe that the Virginia Ferguson Award is the perfect fit for Virginia Wolf Biley. Many volunteers and co-workers, such as the Beyond Coal organizer Elizabeth Scafford in our town, attest that their work in the river bend would not go as far or as deep that it has without the groundwork and relationships that Virginia Wolf Biley has laid. I first had the pleasure of meeting Virginia 10 years ago when our local Sierra Club group was attempting to stop Walmart from developing a city-owned golf course. 55 acres of green space in the middle of the city that was slated for unsustainable development. I reached out to Virginia because she was working as the golf course superintendent at the time, the dark side. And at that point, she had already been checking into the Audubon Cooperative Sanctuary Program for golf courses. That's a certification program that helps golf courses protect our environment and preserve the natural heritage of the game of golf. But the city was not interested in turning to a more sustainable practice. I, however, was very impressed with the self-taught knowledge regarding the benefits of open space, public land use, stormwater flows, natural bioswales, and incorporating functioning mini wetlands into the land development and conservation that Virginia had. She had many years of horticultural experience and degrees under her belt, and we immediately became great friends, and we stopped Walmart. It was during this time that I really got to know her, and she became one of my best volunteers. She was at every event. She is the hostess with the mostest. I mean, constantly an open arm, a welcoming smile. And after volunteering for a while, she became very active on our executive committee, and finally, Sierra Club employee in 2011. I consider her invasive species.
Well, I heard that
Hey! Come on up, Virginia! Virginia, come on up. Come on up in front of everyone.
There's probably a Madison County Trust bus going by our office, and it breaks into our internet.
Life in the field.
So, Dave, we lost Christine. Thank you. Oh, Christine, you're so awesome. I wanted to hear everything you had to say. Wow, I'm bowled over. And I was going to use technology. There it is. First of all, this is one of the most amazing experiences in my life, and thank you for letting me share it with you all. I had the pleasure of meeting our esteemed director last week in Cleveland at the Good Job Green Jobs conference. You didn't open very well, I have to tell you. Well, that's okay. It was a Warriors comment. We were in Cleveland. Well, of course. But anyway, all kidding aside, Christine is one of my mentors for sure. It's been a joy working with her, but I do want to say that, you know, I'm just full of gratitude and privilege for being nominated for the Sierra Club's Virginia Ferguson Award. At first I thought the prerequisite was your name had to be Virginia. But fortunately, I found out, well, there was other qualifications, because I thought, well, I might be the only Virginia in the Sierra Club. Who knows? So by default. But anyway, you know, I speak about privilege and, you know, understanding privilege and my privilege. It's really something that's ongoing and something that's I'm just beginning to grasp in my life. And it's something that I'll never take for granted. You know, and I also have a really solid sense of gratitude, and I'm so grateful for the sagacious mentors I've had in the club. It's truly been life-changing. You know, Christine Favila, that woman is a force of nature, and like she said, we met 10 years ago. I did come over from the dark side. I was a golf course superintendent. But what do you do with a horticulture degree? You know, it was really tough. Well, absolutely, you organize. So, you know, she gave me a chance. Of course, I did volunteer. I mean, I love people. I love the cause. I wanted to be there. It gave a lot of meaning to my life. And, you know, Christine brought our small project. We're the Piasaw Palisades group of the Sierra Club, and we're in Alton, Illinois. And we're just this little group that works on community sustainability initiatives, on air and water quality. We're at the confluence of the three big rivers, the Mississippi, the Illinois, and the Missouri. So there's a lot of work to be done there, of course. But, you know, our work is very diverse, offering education, advocacy on everything sustainable in our very conservative community. The Cool Cities Initiative is like taking off like wildfire, you know, and I was so happy to talk to Cassie today about Ready for 100, incorporating that into our Cool Cities initiatives. You know, defending clean air and water and local foods is another big initiative that we work on, and working in the community that I grew up in, and just letting people realize or educating them on the importance of all of these aspects that make our community stronger and more resilient. I'm also, besides Christine, who is wonderful, and like I said, a true force of nature, I'm very grateful for the Beyond Coal champions that I've worked with in my area, Sarah Edgar, Allison Fisher, and especially Elizabeth Scrafford. We've heard her name previously, and boy, I tell you, she is an organizing rock star. And I don't come from an organizing background, but I've learned so much from this young woman, and it's just rekindled a fire in me that, you know, I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm with the organization that I belong, and the work continues. So I am eternally grateful for the wonderful people I'm surrounded by and this wonderful organization that has embraced me, and that means the world to me. But I can't forget the gratitude I have for the wonderful family that I've been so privileged to have as I was growing up. My wonderful husband of 25 years, David, who is in the back. You can't miss him. Here's the big bald guy with the peace sign tie. But thank you, dear, for being here with me, too. It means a lot, and we are celebrating our 25th anniversary this year. We have 2 beautiful kids, 23-year-old twins. They need jobs. But besides that, again, much gratitude, and thanks, everyone, so much.
Great. The next award is one of my favorite awards. It is the Behind the Scenes Hero Award. And this is given to an employee whose tremendous efforts, skills, and talents have repeatedly and consistently supported and enabled the others to advance the Sierra Club's mission in a significant way and to accomplish a large and important project. This employee is an invaluable behind-the-scenes contributor who can be consistently relied upon by others for his or her highest service standards. This year's Behind the Scenes Hero Award goes to Tanae Lewis. And Jen Trahan will come up and speak a little bit about Tanae.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I am so honored to be presenting this award today to a treasured member of the operations team. Tanae Lewis is the personification of the Behind the Scenes Hero Award, and I'm really proud to be giving this to her today in front of all of her colleagues on her birthday. Happy birthday today. And in front of her beautiful daughters, Demi and Samia, who are here with her today. Hi, girls. For those of you in the DC office, I know Tanae needs no introduction. She's the rock star that keeps the office functioning at a high level every day so you all can do your jobs productively. For those of you who visit the DC office frequently, I know you know Tanae too. She's the one with the warm welcome and the biggest smile that always makes sure you have what you need in the office or in the apartment so that your stay is successful. And for those of you who haven't had the good fortune to know Tanae yet, you should really get to know her. She is the office manager for the DC office. And she not only handles all the day-to-day operations there in our second largest office, but she also has oversight of the DC apartment as well. And many of us have stayed there. So I can't think of anyone more deserving than Tanae of this award for last year. So I want to tell you a little bit about the year that Tanae had last year. The DC operations team has 3 positions, and when 2015 started, 2 of those positions were vacated, and so Tanae was the remaining 3rd. She was the DC operations coordinator, and she was the staff with hands-on knowledge that pretty much ran the office for many months as a one-woman show during this transition period. So she performed 3 jobs at once, she crushed it, and then ultimately got promoted to the DC office manager position. So then she had to continue doing 3 jobs at once, like what happens when you get promoted, and she had to work to recruit, staff, and train the 2 new hires for her team. So Tanae has gone far and above what is normally expected of an office manager. She always goes the extra mile, takes a lot of pride in her work. She's been at the office till 1 a.m. with contractors fixing leaks just to make sure that important meetings could happen and staff didn't need to reschedule. She has personally shoveled snow on several occasions at the DC apartment when service providers were not available. I also have heard that your daughters have helped, so thank you, ladies, for that. She embraced her promotion and her enhanced responsibilities, and she wanted to have greater influence over DC operations. So even while understaffed most of the year, she took the initiative to do some cost savings, and she revamped the supply order process, which saved $4,000. She consolidated storage, which saved another $8,000. And then she found some new tenants to fill in some of the empty space, which offset about $200,000 of income to help with the rent in the DC office. I mean, these are real impacts on the club's bottom line. Thank you, Tanae. And beyond her role in the DC office, she also shows a lot of initiative in growing personally and professionally. And she embraces the club's DEI work and seeks out opportunities to support it whenever possible through training, professional associations, and helping to connect universities and students with informational sessions in the DC office. She's currently pursuing a degree in human resources. I don't know if everybody knows that. She shows a real passion for that work, is always looking for ways to help support the HR team here. And she's taken the initiative to take classes on office health and safety. She takes the lead on the safety program there, and I know she's done office safety team and walkthroughs and drills regularly there. Thank you. She's also a trusted sounding board for a number of staff in the DC office. They know who to go to when they need help. In the words of her colleagues, she is kind, compassionate, hardworking, and very dedicated. Tanae is always working behind the scenes to ensure staff and visitors are safe, engaged, welcomed, productive, supported, and happy. A direct quote from one of the people who nominated her: "The DC office would be a chaotic mess without her." It's big. Some may not notice her immense impact because she does such a good job at proactively identifying problems before they become big problems. But that's why she deserves this award, Behind the Scenes Hero, because I want her to know that we do notice your impact every day. And to your daughters, I want to say that you should be super proud of your mom today. She's kind of a big deal around here. Tanae, it's such an honor and a privilege to give you this award today. It's a true pleasure working with you. I adore you. Your team adores you. We all adore you. So come on up and get your award.
Jen has said a lot that I really didn't think people recognized or even knew. I talked to Alicia a lot about all of the ongoing things in the DC office, and we get it done. We just get it done. And a lot of the things are behind the scenes that staff never see. So if I've ever met one of you from the field or from San Francisco in the office and I'm like, nice to meet you, I know your name, but I'll see you in a few minutes. It's one of those behind-the-scene acts that I have to go perform. I'm really happy and honored to be here today. I thank everyone who nominated me for this award, and I thank each and every one of you that I've come across. I work for a wonderful organization. This is my first time working in nonprofit, so it's just like very gratifying to me. And I want to thank my daughters for coming here with me today, supporting me and always encouraging me, even when I want to give up. Thank you. I prepared a small speech, and I won't read everything because I'm just like nervous right now. But I had the pleasure of working with most of you in my role as the DC office manager and operations coordinator. I want to give a special shout out to the organizers for the Eastern region that I started working with and who I adore. Bob Bingaman for always encouraging me and checking on me at the front desk. I want to thank Alicia, Helen, Everett, everyone back in DC. Shout out to the operations folks. I'm blessed to work here at the Sierra Club and amongst all of you wonderful folks. I've worked in many organizations, and no one organization has had as many loving, caring folks and passionate and dedicated folks. So I want to thank you all and say that I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. This award speaks a lot to my qualities, and it's just quite natural. Something that's within me to just help and serve and make sure everyone is taken care of. I'm very selfless, so many times I go with giving maybe my special lunch from the safety committee meeting because one of us forgot what someone ordered. I would give that away. So that's very speaking to my character and myself. I enjoy helping everyone. Today is a very special day because it is my birthday and I get to share it on the West Coast, still in the work or in the office with most of you. So I want to just say thank you, and I really thank you for this award, and that's it.
Today. Here. So if you flew across the country and you got an award and you had to give a speech and it was your birthday, don't you think that people should sing to you? All right, Paul Roberts, start us off. Come on. Oh, wait, hold on. You all wanted to hear Paul sing, right?
You don't know me very well. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to today. Happy birthday to you.
All right. The next award is the Special Achievement Award. Special Achievement Award is given to acknowledge an employee's special achievement that has benefited, changed, or streamlined the work of the Sierra Club or enhanced our public image. This year's Special Achievement Award goes to Kiana Allen. And I believe our friend Ben Avery should be talking sometime soon.
I'm talking.
Yay!
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry I can't be there in person. This is one of the best Sierra Club events of the year. But I'm honored to be introducing Kiana. I'll be honest with you guys, this was a tough introductory speech to write. I think we all have people in our lives, whether they are colleagues or friends or family, who you have so many positive feelings about, and there's so many wonderful things to describe that it's almost difficult to know where to start when you want to honor them. So let me just start with sharing some facts about Kiana. We'll start there. The basics first. So Kiana has been with us for 2 years as our chapter grant writer. And for those of you who don't know, she's part of a small chapter fundraising team. And her specific role is to work with chapter and group leaders across the country who want to research, apply for, receive, and then report on foundation grants from foundations across the country. Think about that for a second. All of our chapter and group leaders across the country. That's a lot to ask of 4 normal people. But she does it all by herself. That's about 240 applications, reports, and project proposals every year. I think that's about the number we're up to right now. It's a lot. She tracks all of the deadlines. She edits all of the documents. She gives feedback to leaders across the country that they really rely on to tweak these reports and get them to where they need to be. And the whole time she's facilitating the relationship between the Sierra Club Foundation upstairs and all of those leaders across the country. It's a big, big deal, and it's especially a big deal because all of these dollars, and we're talking millions of dollars, are the backbone of how we grow the strength of our grassroots network across the country. I think we all know how much we rely on our chapters and groups, and this is the key money that helps them grow their capacity over time. So she's been tremendously successful. I think this year we're probably going to beat where we were last year by 30 to 40%, and it may be more by the end of the year, but she's just rocking it right now. But I don't think that she's getting this award because of solely what she's done. It's really about the way she does it. She was nominated by about 8 different chapter directors, and instead of starting this myself, let me just share some of what they wrote with all of you, because I think you'll get a sense of how much they value her. All right, first one. Kiana always goes above and beyond to help our chapter. She is, all caps, amazing. Patient, flexible, so hardworking and pleasant. She has helped us measurably bring in far more money and resources to support our chapter's work. Next one. Kiana has been incredibly helpful in gently prodding us to get our proposals and reports done on time, and that is no easy task. Best of all, she's always patient and pleasant throughout the process. We've tested this many times. Next one. Kiana is one of the most helpful, patient, gracious staff people you will work with at the Sierra Club. Personal note, amen to that. Finally, she's just a joy to work with. So let me just add a few thoughts of my own before I pass the mic over to the star of the show here. I think Kiana has a really unique blend of empathy, ferocity, and humility. I think you'll hear this come across in just a minute when she takes the microphone. She's extremely quick to praise others when things go well. She will drop everything, including her Saturdays and Sundays, and I've seen this way too many times in the last couple months, to finish a proposal or get something done on time. She will let a chapter blow through all of the deadlines that she has meticulously laid out for them, and then the minute they give her what she needs, she will fight like hell to get this stuff done on time. So Kiana, this is a richly, richly deserved award. Thank you for all that you do. And so I invite all of you across the country, and especially in Oakland, to get loud, especially if you care about growing the grassroots power across this organization. Kiana is a linchpin in that effort. So without further ado, let me introduce Kiana Allen.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Ben, thank you so much for the extremely kind introduction. You are phenomenal, and I am so grateful to have you. First, I just want to start off with a disclaimer. I really fear public speaking, like nothing else. There's definitely a reason that I'm employed as a grant writer and not as someone who gives speeches or talks to the press. I know there are a lot of you in this organization, so please bear with me and don't judge me too harshly, as there's no way that I can match the oratory skills of some of the amazing and eloquent advocates for the cause that we've heard from already this afternoon and from those who are still to come. Thank you so much for this award. I feel incredibly honored to be here among such a phenomenal group of committed environmental advocates, some of whom I guess like Allison have been here for like 25 years. So I feel very honored. I want to give a huge and very particular thank you to all the chapter staff and volunteers, especially the chapter directors. I know that you all made the effort to nominate me for this award, and I just want you to know how honored and appreciated I feel. You're the backbone of our movement, and I don't think that you sometimes get enough credit for the work that you do, and I'm so honored to have your respect and appreciation. And I just want to let you know how much I respect and honor your work. I'm so privileged to spend every day learning about the deep breadth of our grassroots work in communities all across the country. And I just want to give a small shout out to Virginia, because the Three Rivers Project is like one of my favorite grants to review every year. So I'm excited to get to meet you in person. Yeah. Yeah, secondly, I really wanted to like list out the names of all the amazing people in this organization who deserve recognition, but I don't want to talk for an hour. But I do want to mention that I want to share this award with Ting Lee at the Sierra Club Foundation, who's amazing. For those who don't know, the foundation approves all our charitable fundraising proposals and reports, so I work with her on pretty much a daily basis. Her flexibility, efficiency, and truly superhuman level of competence, in addition to her high level of tolerance for my constant requests for exceptions and expedited turnaround, are what make it possible for us to respond to quick deadlines and raise these funds. I'm kind of the go-between between the chapters and the foundation, so I feel like I'm kind of getting all these accolades and taking credit for a great deal of what's truly her accomplishment. So thank you, Ting. The club and the foundation are really lucky to have you. Thanks. Lastly, since I've been given this platform, I feel a responsibility to touch briefly on something that resonates deeply with me. I was so happy when I received the job offer to work at the Sierra Club, in large part because it felt to me that this organization was truly engaging in diversity, equity, and inclusion work at a level beyond any other green group, and I felt like I was being given an opportunity to work on the two issues that have driven my life together in a professional context. I will be 100% honest with you and say that once I was in, I was a little disappointed at the truth of what was happening on the inside, and I'm still a little disappointed at where we are. Our talk is big, but our reality often is not. We have a long way to go. However, that being said, the small incremental shifts that I've seen, and in some cases I hope I'm a part of, are happening, and they're incredible and transformative. I want to issue a personal thank you to everyone who's involved in and committed to this work and who has refused to let it fall by the wayside. We're in the midst of what could be a truly transformational cultural shift within this organization. However, I believe that our culture cannot shift to true inclusivity without an element of kindness. I think that sometimes, as advocates for such an important cause, we're only trying to save the future of our entire planet, that we get caught up in how busy we are, how much there is to be done, and we start to harden our hearts to each other. We aren't kind to one another and don't welcome one another. I want to thank everyone who welcomed me and who was kind to me when I first came into this organization, especially Mackenzie, and make a personal plea to step up our compassion for each other. Inclusivity is often just as simple and as kindness, and we're nothing without it. Thank you so much for this honor. I'm almost done. Thank you so much for this honor. I'm incredibly lucky to work with such wonderful and talented colleagues all across the country fighting for our collective future. Thank you.
Great. We have 2 more awards, and the next one is the Community Service Award. This award is given in recognition of a commitment to helping others through public service or community involvement in a non-Sierra Club cause. And this year's Community Service Award goes to April Thomas. And we have Nellis Kennedy Howard here to present April with her award.
Thank you. I am so honored to present this award to April Thomas, especially after the wonderful words that were just spoken about creating a space that's welcome, creating a space where all feel included, and all of that's really about creating community. And April Thomas, can't say enough about you, about the wonderful ways that you have created community, not just here at Sierra Club, but outside of these walls, outside of your home, everywhere you go. So I wanted to read the words of Grace McCrae, who nominated you. I nominated April Thomas for the Community Service Award because she not only is April an expert communicator on issues of environmental and social justice, but she also spends countless hours volunteering in support of these causes. In her hometown of Oakland, April works with the Oakland Justice Coalition to work on important local issues like rental control and minimum wage. She brings the same passion and kindness to her work at the Sierra Club. Her enthusiasm is contagious, and I know many of us feel lucky to work with her. I'm one of those very many lucky people who get to work with April on a very regular basis. I started working with April about a year ago with the Beyond Coal campaign, and she was the press secretary. And I remember when I first looked at her resume, I went, wow, she's overqualified. She is an outstanding professional in her field. She knows what she's doing. And once I started working with her, I was not disappointed. She's an expert communicator. She's fantastic. And if you all get a chance to work with her, do. She can create talking points, press releases. She can do everything that a press secretary should be able to do, but she's so much more than that. And I've appreciated that about her. You know, there's a number of things that I could say about her. She's thoughtful and she's just. She thinks about the areas that she works. When you work as a press secretary, oftentimes you work across distance and you work across time. And in my mind, this award should go to someone who creates community wherever they go, across distance and across time. And April is one of those people. She works with the coal campaign across the country. She works in the Southwest. She works out west. She works out here in Oakland on coal exports. And she's created community wherever she has gone, including in the Southwest when she works with me, working with different coalition partners, not just saying what do they need, but what can I give? What can I offer? What will help make them feel valued and supported? What will carry this work forward, and how do we do it in an equitable and just way? April is passionate. She is very, very eager. She is not okay with just being having requests made of her. She likes offering things. She likes bringing something to the table and contributing to those around her, to the community that she's creating. She's also incredibly humble. Before I came up here to give this award, I asked April to just jot down just a couple of things that she's doing in her community. I was mostly just curious because April does so much. But I asked her to jot down a few things before I came up here, and she said it felt self-serving, out of place. She didn't want to put herself up like that. She's very selfless. She will offer you the shirt off of her back. She will offer you anything last minute that you need, even though you shouldn't try to do that to her. But she does. This is the way that she works. And I think about the ways that she's created community here at Sierra Club with the people that she's working with, myself included. And now that I'm not with the coal campaign, I couldn't stand not working with her, and now I'm working with her. She's the Comms Press Secretary offering assistance to the DEI department. And it's fitting because she knows so many of the issues, because she's deeply invested as a person. Here in this community in Oakland, she's working with the Oakland Alliance. She's working with local government on housing issues. She's working with the Oakland Justice Coalition on local elections. I started to jot down a list and got too long. She works on rent control, affordable housing, minimum wage, what type of housing are you receiving, same-sex marriage issues, LGBTQ issues, how to overcome police violence. And today, when I first saw her, I said, wow, this is a big day. This is very exciting. What are you doing to celebrate this evening, this award? Guess what? She's going to be at a community meeting with the Oakland Alliance, and she can't celebrate tonight because she's out there creating community. April, thank you for all that you do for Sierra Club and for the community that you create, and thank you for letting me be a part of it.
So we don't forget it then. This is cool. Thank you, everybody. Hang on. Put this right here. So thank you, Nellis. First of all, I'm really honored and touched by your faith in me. It meant a lot to me when I didn't want to stop working with you either, and it really meant a lot to me when you asked me to come work on the DEI team with you. And I've learned so much from you just in the year that we've worked together. So I look forward to everything we're going to do together in the future. So while I have you all trapped here, I would be remiss if I didn't pitch you all to, there's so many smart people in this room. This is like the winningest organization out there. And Nellis told you some about the Oakland Justice Coalition. I would love if anybody would be interested in doing any of that work with me. The 3 ballot initiatives that you saw in the kitchen for a few weeks, those were one of the main things that we're working on. Ballot initiatives around rent control, civilian police oversight, and minimum wage. Oakland Justice Coalition basically exists to bring together different kinds of organizations and people from different struggles in solidarity to build power for the people in Oakland who don't have power and influence. anyway, so that's my request to all of you if you're interested. I know we're all very busy saving the world, so I understand if there's no extra time. So what I really want to talk about is Nellis and I have been working together on a project lately that has us, I think, both really thinking about what it means to bring your whole self to work with you every day, and what kind of possibilities open up when that's not just allowed but encouraged by an organization. And it's made me think about the fact that before I came to Sierra Club, I had some really great jobs and then some really terrible jobs, but I never had a job before that allowed me to be my whole self. And because of that, I have like an internet presence that's sort of like a tangled web of dummy accounts I've made to hide my real political opinions from employers and clients. I spent 4 years speech writing for an elected official, and afterward I wasn't even sure I had my own political perspective or voice. And then I came to Oakland, and I was welcomed into a community that speaks very openly and even aggressively about all the things I always knew in my heart but had been afraid to say, you know, things like prisons destroy people, not rehabilitate them, or that capitalism is inherently oppressive, or all kinds of other really out there stuff that people here may or may not agree with, which is totally fine. And as my worldview changed and expanded when I became part of that community, it became ever more painful to stuff myself back into the box of the corporate culture that dominates, even in many nominally progressive spaces. And I struggled when I was asked to do things that contradicted my strongly held beliefs, and I dreaded getting up every morning to turn off part of myself just to make it through my workday. And I was looking ahead at 35 more years of stifling myself and biting my tongue for a paycheck, even in progressive spaces, and it made me want to give up. But instead, I looked around me for an organization that would give me the work-life balance and the space that I needed to do the activism that I wanted to do. And I didn't even really expect more than that. That I be allowed to be myself, do my own thing on my own time. But I found way more than that here. This moment, this recognition means to me that this community doesn't just allow me to be my whole self, but actually values my whole self. That even though my work on, say, prison abolition doesn't really have that much to do with the mission of the Sierra Club, that this community still values my contributions to other struggles and recognizes that my work outside Sierra Club, it gives me perspective and experience. It helps me be more successful in my job every day. So this is an organization that's changing and growing, as other people have pointed out. We're in the midst of a transformation process that will lead us to be a more equitable, just, and inclusive community. We're not there yet. Making space for and valuing the contributions of a cis white woman who's slightly to the left of average is not the limit of what we need to accomplish, certainly, but I'm still really grateful. I'm really grateful for the people who've been here much longer than me, doing the hard work of changing our culture from the inside. Within the Sierra Club, I've found smaller spaces and communities that feel like home. The Community Impact Committee, I know almost everybody's in the room, I think, which has so thoughtfully led us through our transition into Oakland and helped us all be better neighbors and community members. The Union, where I've learned so much from Mel McRae about how to advocate for your own interests from a place of integrity and dignity. And the DEI team, led by Nellis and Jessica, which is busy making space for everybody, not just me, to bring their full selves and practices and cultures to them, with them to work every day. So the support and empowerment I've experienced at Sierra Club have kept me from giving up when things get hard, and sometimes it gets really hard to do this kind of work. This place and this community that makes it possible for me to do more than I ever thought I could. So thank you all for seeing me and for valuing what you see.
All right, our final award of the day is the Mike McCloskey Award, and that is bestowed upon an employee with at least 3 years of service whose work has reflected and strengthened the meaning, purpose, and mission of the Sierra Club, and it has contributed to the prestige of the Sierra Club and the world community. The Mike McCloskey Award honors a distinguished record of achievement in national or international conservation causes. And this year's Mike McCloskey Award goes to Stacy Bear. And Mel McInnes. Mel McInnes is going to say a couple words about Stacy and his award.
Stacy Bear. After being with him for about 3 seconds, you are left with an impression. And it's not necessarily his big warm heart, his shiny white bald head, his lightning wit. No, it's his deep-rooted certainty that getting outside is the answer. The answer for everything. I think Debbie Zambetti and the advancement team said it best. He's the real deal. Preaching the gospel of how direct experience with the outdoors is what puts us in touch with ourselves and with each other. Stacy's exuberance comes directly from the natural world we are trying to protect, a connection that is ultimately what motivates a movement of people to protect the planet. He advocates, sometimes fiercely, the whole reason we shut down coal plants, stop new gas pipelines, and educate consumers about electric vehicles is so that we can continue to be, in our heart of hearts, a hiking club. It's true, he says this all the time. The outdoors saved Stacy's life. He is convinced that if he had not started climbing, he would have been another veteran suicide statistic. And what started out as a goal to save himself has turned into a vision for all people, regardless of age, race, gender, religion, sexual identity, or economic status. A vision for all people to experience the healing power of the outdoors. When Stacy says the outdoors has healing powers, he'll tell you how outdoor recreation has successfully been used to improve academic performance, create empathy, reduce stress and anxiety, and improve vision. He'll inform you that outdoor activity can even mitigate the effects of post-traumatic stress, traumatic brain injury in military veterans returning from service. He'll convince you that getting outside is the key to getting 100% clean energy and public land protection. He'll also convince you that getting outside can end depression, loneliness, inequality, inequity, and racism. Yes, getting outdoors can solve racism. So I'm going to tell you a story. A few months ago, one of our friends had somebody post on their Facebook page some really racist comments. And this friend is a black veteran who is facilitating outdoor experiences for veterans and youth. Get outside together, learn from each other, play together. And the whole community was in just absolute uproar. We're all trying to figure out, how do we respond? What do we say? What do we do? Many, many people were incredibly angry, hurt. Some of them even made some not so good comments on the Facebook post, as we've seen many, many times ourselves. But Stacy wasn't one of those. Stacy, he's like, how do we respond? How do we respond with love? So he figured out who this person was and how to get their contact information, and he invited them to go on an outdoor trip. And I know some of you are thinking, oh, he was going to take them outdoors and leave them there? No, not Stacy. He knows that by getting outdoors, silos, barriers, they're broken down. He knows that people can have real conversations and they can develop empathy. So he wanted to do this with this guy. This was how he decided to react, because he knew that getting out there, the healing powers of the outdoors, it was going to help end this racism. So let's see, where am I? So simply put, Stacy inspires, he encourages, and he pushes us each to explore, to enjoy and protect, and to experience the healing powers of the outdoors. It is with extreme pleasure that I get to introduce my brother from another mother, my co-conspirator, and my dear friend, Stacy Bear.
Thanks, Mel, and everybody. I would love to be there. I'm on an advancement trip in Boston, and I think what's really important, this award means a lot. It's definitely a surprise. I also think it's totally a team award, and it's a representation and recognition of what we've been able to do as a team with Sierra Club Outdoors, outdoor activities, the grassroots effectiveness team, our new team at Wild, advancement, communications, operations, and the other campaigns. Our many partners who believe in what we are, what we've been, and I think more importantly what we can be, like Outdoor Afro, Girl Trek, Latino Outdoors, and the military and veteran community. It's also, I think, a reflection on our executive team. Mike Brune once, perhaps he regrets it now, at an all-staff meeting he told us all to be bold and act as if we were going to win. So that's what we've gone out and done as a team. And I think all of us as a team at the Sierra Club, the environmental movement writ large, we have been winning, and we will continue to win. But I think it's really important for this award that it's really about our volunteers, and even more so our incredible participants, and to remind ourselves of the grassroots nature of the Sierra Club and where we came from. And it's those participants who've helped shape and buy into our vision of equity and access for all in the outdoors. And we've been having a really tough conversation about what it means to be open and accepting, and what we won't accept any longer at the Sierra Club. And but it's really exciting to have those conversations that bigots aren't welcome here. They're welcome to go on some hikes, but they've got to change their minds if they want to stay. But we will always take everybody out at least once in the outdoors, and it's up to them whether or not they want to stay with the Sierra Club. And I do have a background of kicking down doors and blowing things up, so we also have that opportunity if we want to leave them in the outdoors. As a veteran and a trauma survivor, you get a dark sense of humor. I think we've got a long way to go at the Sierra Club, and that's been talked about, but we've also come a long way in a pretty short amount of time because of our team, and that team continues to grow. I struggle with the recent events in Orlando, as I know all of us do, and I'm reminded that now more than ever is really and truly, it's a community challenge, and we're in it to ensure that love will win every time. One of the things that has been really helpful in the wake of Orlando for me is, weirdly enough, Henry Rollins, who I have a pretty significant email exchange with, and have for the last several years. If you don't know who Henry Rollins is, he's a fantastic musician and social justice warrior. And he reminded me that he and RuPaul once did a duet together. And if that can, if we can have Henry Rollins and RuPaul singing together, even though that has never been released by the record company, so I think we'll start that Change.org petition later this week. If that can happen, imagine what else we can do as a community. And I hope that we all have a goal to create something more than just camaraderie, but a sense of real belonging, a sense of being connected more directly to our planet, our air, our water, and giving a feeling to everyone that they, he or she, or however one might choose to identify, whatever their ability, their background, their veteran status, that everybody feels like they can contribute, that they can dream big, and that we will help them to marshal the resources and support to chase those dreams to make a better world. Sometimes the Sierra Club can feel like a really, really competitive place, but that's because everybody has used the Sierra Club to try and change the world and make it better. But without a deep connection to this world, we don't have any chance at protection. We have to be willing to play the long game, and I think we are now. What we do, all of us, wherever you are in the Sierra Club, you're supporting the healthcare for the world. But if we don't first and foremost focus on the people, we're not going to win. So I hope to see you outside on the trail at some point, whatever that looks like for you, whether it's just staring outside, whether it's in a park, whether it's on top of a mountain or anywhere in between. And I want to thank everyone at the Sierra Club for inspiring and challenging me every day to be the best version of myself, and a reminder that love wins. And I bet the Cavaliers do too.
Thank you, Stacy. Thank you, everyone, but we're not done yet. Some people have worked here decades, and we are going to recognize some of those people right now. I think the best way to do this, if I say your name, please stand up. This includes if you are watching this from your iPhone in your living room, stand up if I say your name, and then we're going to greet them all with raucous applause for this. This is the 10-year anniversary group. So Ruth Bergen, Director of Online Campaigns, Digital Strategies. Marie, oh, it says Ruth. Sorry, I know it's Marie. Marie, I'm sorry. Where's Marie? Is she standing? Is she here? Well, I hope she's working from home and standing up there. Adam Kapp, also from Digital Strategies. Virginia, Jenny Kramer from Communications. Jennifer Trahan, stand up, please. Ethan Manuel out in D.C., our team leader out there. Mark Kreswick, also in D.C. David Perry in Outings, please stand up. Greg Cassini, I saw Greg Cassini somewhere here, so he better be standing up. And Tiffany Sprague, also please stand up. Let's everyone give these people a big round of applause. We also want to honor the special and maybe just a little crazy people who've worked here for 20 years. And so we have 4 people. Susan Golden of Digital Strategies. Larry Foster, he actually survived the move and is still walking and talking. Glenn Besa, formerly of the Virginia chapter, who hit 20 years and then very neatly retired right after that, but we still want to honor him. And Thomas Arthur Devlin, who is the coordinator for the Redwood chapter for 20 years. So let's give all those people a big round. Thanks, everyone. Again, thank you, especially folks in the field, for joining us. And according to my instructions, you should hang around, socialize, and continue eating. Thank you. Bye.